The Pelicans beat the Suns, and the series is now tied at a game apiece. Here's Coach of the Year candidate Monty Williams.
Right hamstring tightness. Did you notice it during that third quarter, him maybe even slowing down? Did he even come to you?
No, I think it happened on one play when he was trying to track down someone in transition, and that's where I think it happened. But other than that, we don't have much else to say about it, but it is a hamstring issue.
Not just in the quick short term of just thinking about the fourth quarter without him, what changed you felt like?
The transition defense, that was probably, for us, the worst we've ever looked in transition since I've been here. And for that to happen in a playoff game was a bit unsettling for everybody. But our guys have to understand that this team is going to play hard every possession, and we saw it in the third quarter. We missed a shot, they were taken off, and that was a bit deflating. But that was the change in my eyes, and then they got hot from three. But the transition defensive balance wasn't there at any level tonight for us.
And then you talked about Landry being ready. What you think about how he played?
I thought he was really good to be able to come in and attack the basket that way and then knock down a three out of a timeout. And he's a guy that's going to stay ready. I mean, we've been in this situation before where Book or Chris have been out. Now we got to make that adjustment. But it's going to start with playing with a great level of intensity in every area. I thought we handled the offensive rebounding a lot better tonight, but then we took a step back in transition. And so we just got to put it together.
Monty, on those leak outs, is that just a lack of attentiveness once the guy leaks out?
It's an understanding of what they're doing. You know, they're contesting and taking off, but the backside of our offense has to get back. You know, it's just basketball 101. That's not anything I'm coming up with. Everybody has to do that.
What did you think of the offensive execution tonight?
It was okay. We just didn't shoot the ball as well as they did. I mean, they shot 54 from three. We had 13 threes. We just shot, a much lower percentage. When you compare it, they just shot a lot better than we did. There were some, breakdowns on both ends, but they had, one guy who was able to knock down tough shots at the end of the clock, and we just missed a ton of shots tonight.
You had mentioned the point of attack defense in game one tonight. Was that kind of the underlying cause behind the Pelicans' three-point shooting?
I just thought it was a lapse in KYP. There were a number of times where we just didn't even get a hand up on a guy, or we went under a screen on McCollum down the stretch, and he gets a three. Alvarado had a couple where we just didn't respect him enough to get our hands up. And our guys will be better. We'll watch the film and see how many open looks we gave them just with a lack of intensity to get to their feet and force them to put the ball down, especially at the end of the shot clock.
With Brandon Ingram, he's a guy that you've talked about how he can hit tough shots. Do you feel like that was kind of the case, that it was just one of those nights?
No, I think it was one of those nights, but he also hit tough shots with a hand in his face. I mean, some of those shots, I'll take that defense every night. He just hit those shots. There was one in a baseline out of bounds play where he comes off, and we just didn't recognize that he was going to come off to take the shot. We were too far behind him. But other than that, I thought we got a good hand up on most of his shots.
Monty, why do you think back here? What do you think was the difference for Hayes being able to be a little more impactful tonight for them versus
just
game one? He was a little quieter.
He was athletic. He's always athletic in a number of environments, but tonight he was taking off and running, and they put a lot of pressure on us. And they were switching, so he would end up on a smaller guy, and he would contest and take off. I thought that hurt us. But his athleticism, he's able to switch and guard guys and force tough shots. But I thought his transition, his effectiveness in transition hurt us tonight.
Do you have any theory on why something like this would happen in a game like this?
No. I mean, a theory, I don't know. I just know I don't like it. None of us like it. I thought we did a much better job with their offensive rebounding, but then the transition defense coupled with the number of threes they got off tonight and made, it's just a bad combination. Yeah, no doubt.
Was it a situation where there was no way he could have gone out, or was it more?
I don't want to speak on that right now. I think we'll get more information. We'll have a better update tomorrow.
Monty, given the amount of focus that you've seen from your team all year, does
Yeah.
this surprise you that it would come in a playoff game?
Yeah, it does. Just because, one, we're at home. Two, all of these games are so important. But no matter how you slice it, it's 1-1. You know, we can, you know, I'll whine and feel bad about it tonight, but we're 1-1. And it's a long series. We get to go to their place and you know, we'll do what we do. We've been really good on the road, historically good on the road. We've played without Chris and Book before. If we have to play without Book, next man up. And we've done that all year long.
You talked a little bit about backside defense. They had a lot of skip passes over to the other corner with open threes. Was that because the guys were digging for rebounds more? They were more focused on that?
Maybe some of that, but there were a number of times where a guy would slip to the basket and the low man would have to come help, and he left his guy in the corner, and we'd give up a swing pass for a three. I didn't think we had great ball pressure to force hang time passes. A lot of those passes were direct line passes. And then there was, you know, some of the threes were just a lack of awareness as to who was shooting the ball. And again, I'll be able to make a better assessment once I watch the film, but just watching it from in game, it just felt like we were helping on a dive or a slip to the basket, and we were giving up shots to the corner.
Monty, you had a slog in the offense halfway through the first, so I'm wondering do you attribute that to playing basically yourselves mostly last week and then being in a rhythm from last week's playing tournament and basically getting back in a rhythm on the road?
It could be that. I mean, I don't want to come up with too many theories about that, but that could be the case. You know, if you look at our shooting percentages tonight, you know, we have a number of guys that just didn't knock down the shots they knocked down the other night. I mean, this is game 2, it's not game 1, and we've had a number of days to practice, so I wouldn't blame it on rhythm. You give them credit. I mean, they played, I thought they played harder than we did, and I told our guys that. Like, we typically don't get outplayed from an intensity standpoint, and you have to give them credit.
Just wanted to double check. Was Mikhail okay? It looked like he came up hobbled for a minute there in the third.
I think he's okay. Yeah, I think he's fine.
The intensity standpoint, did you feel that early or after the other?
I felt it in the third quarter. That's when they started to get out in transition. That's where I felt the game was starting to change from a momentum standpoint.
How do you explain Crowder's struggles?
I mean, he's missing shots. I don't think I have to explain it. He puts the work in. I know he's going to, you know, keep letting it fly, but I mean, I don't think I have to explain it any more than that. He's getting looks. He's just got to keep shooting it.